My name is Mark Goldfogel. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Fourth Corner Credit Union, responsible for industry relations. The Fourth Corner Credit Union is the first financial institution in the world with a state charter for hemp and to support the hemp and cannabis industries. Simply put, we're the first financial institution in the world with a charter to break federal law.
Great. So what in particular are you trying to convey through this conference, through speaking at this conference?
So I have already spoken at this conference, and the title of my speech was Compliance in the Cannabis Industry. And I was talking about the importance of compliance, how seed to sale tracking operates, and what is going to be necessary in order to receive bank accounts and support from financial institutions in this otherwise federally illegal industry.
Is there anything in particular you might advise someone who's looking to get that kind of funding?
Yeah, effectively, if you're going to be involved in this industry in any way, shape, or form, the rule of thumb is to take good notes, to be extraordinarily diligent in all of your financial transactions, to not hide anything, to not try and take credit cards because there's no legal way to take credit cards, to not obfuscate anything in your financial or business profile because it can all come back and haunt you later on as the industry evolves.
What made your corporation decide to go into funding this type of business?
I've been involved in the cannabis industry for 5 years now, and this is my fourth startup that I've been involved with. This particular business, and in fact, all four that I've been involved in were purpose-built institutions for the cannabis industry. None of the things that I've been involved in were retrofitted from another industry. One of the things that I found in 5 years in this industry is cannabis doesn't function the way that other products and services do. So by offering custom-built solutions that understand the idiosyncrasies of the industry and of the plant is really the only way to properly solve it.
And based on your experiences in Colorado, do you have any hunches about how the marijuana industry will play out in Oregon recreationally?
Oregon's a different market in a lot of different ways. Colorado's a little more geographically isolated. It's surrounded by states that are not necessarily as friendly to cannabis as Oregon is. Oregon also has kind of a long history and a long friendly relationship with cannabis, whereas Colorado was a little different. The other big difference, though, was Colorado was built from the ground up to be a for-profit enterprise, not a non-profit enterprise. So the state of Colorado's primary focus when it rolled out its program was revenue generation for the industry and for the state, where Oregon was really built out of a non-profit model. That's going to be a major differentiator as you roll forward. But Oregon has the advantage of following after Colorado, Washington, and some of the other states that have gone recreational. So they've got the advantage of learning from some of those other states that have come before. In general, I think Oregon's probably going to do a better job of implementing this system than many states are because there's already a strong and friendly relationship between the government and the industry, whereas other states really don't have that.
Follow other people's leads. Is there anything else about your own business that you'd like to talk about?
I think the most important thing to really emphasize is this is a nascent industry, and it's nascent for all of us. So I'd encourage anybody that's interested in being involved in this to reach out to people that have been in the industry for a long time and use us, and use us well. I really try and help startup businesses understand what challenges they might expect and what things they need to be prepared for so that if they do open their doors today, 3 years from now, they don't come back and find out that they didn't properly take into consideration their tax status, for example, and they owe hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxes that they hadn't anticipated, or they've taken credit cards from day one only to find out that now that they want to open a legitimate bank account, they can't because they've been listed as having lied about what they've done banking previously. So it's those sort of dot your I's, cross your T's, even when there doesn't seem to be any compelling reason to do so, just because it's the right thing to do.
That's great. Is there anything you'd like to add, or do you feel that kind of covers what you're wanting people to take away from the conference?
I guess the other piece that I would say as a good piece of advice for this industry is to be flexible. Um, this industry changes in a year faster than most industries do in a decade. So don't get too tied into any one solution that you've come up with, because being flexible and adaptive is really the most important asset to being successful in this industry.
Good advice.
I have a question. Are you worried about the recent push for banks to be able to enter the field and take money from cannabis businesses, or are you so early to the market that you've carved out a nice piece for yourself?
So the Fourth Corner Credit Union's a unique offering. Credit unions by themselves are nonprofit organizations. So we are owned by our members. And we're nonprofit. So that immediately differentiates us from a traditional for-profit bank or another financial institution. We actually see it as a blessing that there's some guidance that's coming forward that's trying to open the door for financial institutions to service the industry. We believe ours will ultimately have a competitive advantage, because unlike any other financial institution, because our charter is to service the hemp and cannabis industries, we have only one of two choices. We either service this industry or we go broke trying. There's not a scenario where our board of directors or our membership, which consists of those who have a common interest in hemp and cannabis, can come back and say, you know what, we've decided this industry is too complicated to be involved in, we're going to pull out. Finding a bank account is not the hardest thing to do in the cannabis industry. Keeping a bank account is the hardest thing to do in the cannabis industry. Banks have come in and left this industry wildly and erratically. Being a financial institution with a charter to service this industry gives us the unique advantage of being totally committed to servicing this industry and sharing the profits with our members, who are also totally committed to servicing this industry. We can't be fly-by-night about it, and that's really the differentiator that we've got over any other financial institution that's going to come in and service, hopefully come in and service this industry as well.
And so is there a move to come to Oregon? Are you guys already in Oregon, or is this just strictly Colorado?
We are not yet in Oregon. We desire to. We're not yet in Colorado. We have a financial institution, but we do not yet have access to the Federal Reserve. And so we need to have access to the banking system through the Federal Reserve in order for us to operate, and we're in the process of securing that access now.
And that's through the work of senators and representatives like Blumenauer and Wyden and all the other executive organs.
And governors and everybody else that we can find with a pulse that believes that having millions of dollars of cash floating around this industry is a safety liability for everybody in the industry. And so we believe it's all of our responsibilities to do what we can to safeguard that cash and evolve the industry into a legitimate, tax-paying, open and above board and totally transparent business.
And if anybody wants to learn more about you or join you in this fight, how do they find you?
You can contact me at the Fourth Corner Credit Union. My email is mark.goldfogel at T, the number 4, the letter C, .co.